Hare Krishna. Want to make a quick video. Want to talk about something very important, which is Prabhupada living still in sound. Recently I made a video about what was it called now? Prabhupada on protection from demonic government, and at the end of that there was a nice kirtan which Prabhupada was leading. Prabhupada was leading a beautiful kirtan, and there was some nice footage of Prabhupada doing some deity worship, and beautiful kirtan. So one person may think, oh, what a beautiful kirtan, how it would be so nice to have been around when Prabhupada was here and to be able to chant with Srila Prabhupada in a kirtan. But this is the point that I want to make here. This is the essential point that I want to make, that Srila Prabhupada lives in sound, and Bhaktivinode Thakur says that the Vaishnava, he lives in sound, and then he spreads the holy name around. So a Vaishnava, he spreads the holy name in the form of sound vibration, in his presence as sound. The spiritual, how does it go? He reasons ill who says that Vaishnavas die while thou art living still in sound, and while living they spread the holy name around. So Prabhupada's living now in sound vibration, and this is when he will really spread Krishna consciousness. People always talk about the great things Prabhupada did when he was physically present and how he spread Krishna consciousness worldwide. But according to Bhaktivinode Thakur, that was just an introduction from Prabhupada to what he is going to do. Prabhupada's living in sound, and he's going to spread Krishna consciousness so much more than he did when he was physically present. So the point I'm wanting to pinpoint on, many people know about hearing lectures from Prabhupada and hearing his morning walks. Many devotees are doing this. They're listening to Prabhupada's lectures, listening to morning walks. They're gaining so much spiritual knowledge, and they're gaining so much spiritual happiness by associating with Prabhupada in this way. But one thing I want to talk about here is about chanting kirtans with Prabhupada. Prabhupada's left many kirtans. They're spread out, they're not organized. So me and my friends and family, we've been trying to get these kirtans of Prabhupada over the years, and we've been taking them from generally they're at the beginning of a class or at the end of a class. So we've been cutting these lectures out and compiling them into a folder, and me and my family have been chanting with these kirtans for many years. And we even went to Vrindavan and we did a bullock cart chant as Prabhupada requested. He requested to be taken on bullock cart in 1977 in his final pastimes, in the physical manifest pastimes. He asked to be taken from the room in which he was being kept and locked up and poisoned by the Ravan disciples, and he asked to be taken on bullock cart, and he wanted to be taken to all the holy places in India on this bullock cart. So I couldn't hardly see that. So we did that. We took Prabhupada to Vrindavan in the form of sound, and we went round Vrindavan. I think we did it for 2 or 3 years on the trot, where we taken Prabhupada in the form of sound. So Prabhupada was leading the kirtan, and we were chanting in response, and many people were hearing Prabhupada, and they were becoming very enlivened to hear Prabhupada's kirtan. So what I'll be doing is, like I said, I've been getting these kirtans of Prabhupada, and I've been saving them in a folder on my PC, and I've been using them. I've put them on my iPod, and I've been chanting kirtan with Prabhupada every day for many years. So I want to make these kirtans available to people. I'm going to put them as a zip file. You can download them. They will increase. I will keep adding more files to them. There's some Jaya Radha Madhava there, so you can chant Jaya Radha Madhava with Prabhupada leading. There's some Hare Krishna kirtans with Prabhupada, and Govinda Jaya Jaya. There's a few of those. So we'll be adding more and more. So keep checking back the post and check the file. I'll give updates when I actually update the zip file. So this idea that it would be amazing to be able to chant kirtans with Srila Prabhupada, it's actually very, very practical and realistically available to anybody. One can just buy himself a set of cartels, hand symbols if you don't have them, or you can just clap your hands, even Prabhupada said. Get some nice speakers so you get a good sound, and play Prabhupada's kirtan, listen to Prabhupada very attentively, and then chant in response. And then, just like when Prabhupada was here, he was doing a kirtan, and actually most of the devotees were hearing that sound vibration from Prabhupada coming from a set of speakers. Prabhupada would chant into a microphone and people would hear it. Maybe in the early days he didn't do that, he just chanted and the people in the room could hear. But as the movement developed, definitely the use of a microphone was there. There are many, many quotes as well where Prabhupada said that we can use his audios to chant with. I could show them, I could probably put them in the description. But the point is, Prabhupada's living still in sound. When we chant in kirtan with him, he's present, just as if when we were when Prabhupada was physically present, and we would be doing a kirtan with him. It's the exact same thing. Prabhupada's not. There's one quote in the Bhagavatam where it's what is the quote now? The potency of transcendental sound is not diminished because the vibrator is apparently absent. I don't know where exactly that is in the Bhagavatam. Somewhere I've read that. So the potency of transcendental sound coming from Srila Prabhupada is not minimized because the vibrator is apparently absent. Prabhupada is not absent. We may feel he's absent because of our material conditioning, but Prabhupada's very much present in his sound vibration, in his kirtans, in his lectures, in his morning walks, room conversations. So please download this zip file with these kirtans. I will add to them, I will add more. And then as a daily practice, try to chant with Srila Prabhupada and hear his kirtan and chant in response. And you will feel Prabhupada's divine presence in your life, and the influence of Maya will be slackened, and you will feel more connected to Krishna, and you'll feel much more joy in your life. So I want to talk about association as well, because some devotees, they always talk about being Prabhupada disciples, and they were there in the early days and they were associating with Prabhupada physically and they were feeling so much benefit. But devotees, Prabhupada was always moving around. He was preaching, going from country to country, state to state, country to country, all worldwide. So devotees were generally fixed in one temple, so they would only see Prabhupada a short time. But the point is, say like a devotee is, say he's chanted japa with Prabhupada so many times, like say 100 times, then maybe he did 100 kirtans with Prabhupada, maybe he heard 100 classes of Prabhupada when he was physically present. Nowadays we can chant kirtans with Prabhupada twice a day, every day, and we can hear so many lectures. So actually we can associate with Prabhupada more than all the early disciples did. The early disciples, like I said, how much association they had with Prabhupada, the real association is to hear. So they would have been present with him physically and doing a kirtan with him, listening to him give a class. Nowadays we can do that far more. We can, say for instance, we've been chanting a kirtan with Prabhupada in the morning and in the evening. So say we've done that, and then we've listened to a class every day, morning and evening, and perhaps we've been chanting japa with Prabhupada. So Prabhupada has a recording of him chanting japa, so we chant our rounds with Prabhupada, we hear him give a class, and say we've been doing that for 10 years. So who had more association with Prabhupada? Somebody who was physically with Prabhupada, say for 2 or 3 years, and they saw him, say they were with Prabhupada for 10 years, and they saw him on and off when Prabhupada visited the temple that they were at, or maybe they were a personal servant, they were with Prabhupada. If one's been hearing Prabhupada morning and evening, chanting japa with him, hearing kirtans, playing Prabhupada all the time when he's working, whatever, he's associated more with Prabhupada. He's become more intimate with Prabhupada than these early disciples. So the idea of being intimate with Prabhupada based on physical connection is a myth. it actually can be dangerous. Prabhupada said to get too close to the spiritual master can be dangerous, because the conditioned mind has this tendency to fault find. Familiarity breeds contempt, so there is that likelihood of, by having physical connection with Prabhupada, one can start to develop an offensive mentality, which is so detrimental to spiritual advancement. That sun is a bit strong, sorry. So therefore, one can become very intimate with Srila Prabhupada by this process of associating with him in the form of sound vibration. And like I said, many devotees do know about hearing lectures and hearing room conversations, morning walks, but chanting kirtans with him. This should be instituted in the temples. All temples should have some time allotted to have Prabhupada lead the kirtans. Not that we always lead the kirtans. Sometimes it depends on the temple leader. So the temple president of a certain temple, he's been elected by the members. He may want to play Prabhupada's kirtans. Like say you have about, I don't know, so you have about 20 kirtans in a week. The temple president might want that Prabhupada lead half of them, and then the other ones the devotees lead. So also with the classes, I mean, I like to listen to Prabhupada give all the classes, because it's the nectar, you know. We read actually Prabhupada does give all the classes, because when we do the Bhagavatam class or the Gita class, Prabhupada we always read his purport. So when we play a lecture, I just see it as extended purport. Read the purport, then play Prabhupada's extended purport in the form of his lecture, and then we can still discuss, and devotees can still talk, and we'll become better preachers. The more we hear from Prabhupada, the more we'll become better preachers, because hearing is the first process. If we hear well, we'll chant well. So anyway, I'm going off on different tangents here. The main point I'm making is Prabhupada lives in sound, and I want to stress the importance of chanting kirtan with him, and that's why I've made this video. That's why I'm going to upload the zip file with these kirtans for people to download. I will also maybe I'll also put these on a disc as well, and then I'll charge a little something for the disc, but just to download the actual files, that will be free. But if you want me to put it on a disc for you, then I'll charge a little fee for the disc and that lot. So I just wanted to make a video on this important topic of doing kirtans with Srila Prabhupada. Hang on, I'm just looking. I'm looking at me and my wife here, so hang on. So yeah, I'd advise all people to download this file, spread it around to other people, and encourage people to start chanting with Srila Prabhupada as a daily practice. And you'll feel a lot of intimate connection with Prabhupada. You'll feel emotions, you'll feel that Prabhupada's present leading the kirtan and you're with him, and you feel ecstasy, and you'll make spiritual progress, and the influence of Maya will slacken. You'll feel freer from the influence of Maya, free of all this negative energy that's around, this fear, and you'll feel very happy and peaceful. So that's my message. Hare Krishna. Hope you enjoy the kirtans. Jai Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.